Garnishing with sugar and salt. In this lesson, we'll be taking a look at some basic garnishing knowledge when using sugar and salt. In particular, we'll be looking at working with sugar and salt as a garnish, crusting with salt, crusting with sugar, and crusting with powdered sugar. Let's start by focusing on the basics of using sugar and salt as a garnish. Salt and sugar add to a drink in two ways. Firstly, they add a strong burst of flavor, and secondly, they add great texture and interest to a drink. An important tip before starting is that sugar and salt shakers must be labeled to prevent a terrible mistake during the rush of a busy service. Before service begins, check that your salt and sugar shakers are full and that they are dry. Salt and sugar are known as dry ingredients, and if they are slightly damp, the grains will no longer be fine and beautiful. Next, we'll be learning about garnishing drinks with salt. Because salt is such a powerful flavor and is rarely used in drinks, it must be approached carefully. It is usually a flavor coupled with citrus-based drinks, such as a margarita or a salty dog. Crusting a glass with salt is simple and makes a good drink that little bit more special. Step 1. When the order for a salt-crusted cocktail arrives, fetch the appropriate glass. Step 2. Take a wedge of citrus from the prep container that suits the drink, for example, a lime wedge for a margarita. Step 3. Rub the flesh of the wedge on the outside of the glass, starting at the rim and working approximately 3 centimeters down. Only rub the wedge on half the glass, leaving the other half clean and dry. And Step 4. Angle the glass downwards over a sink or bin, and from a high angle, sprinkle the salt over the damp half of the glass where the salt will stick. Because the salt only sticks to half the glass, the other half is salt-free, so that guests can drink from the unsalted side if they choose to. Now let's take a look at how to crust with sugar, a technique that is very similar to salting. Because the sugar crust will add sweetness to the drink should be quite refreshing or sour, such as the citrus and brandy cocktail, the cruster. Crusting with sugar is simple and easy, and looks best when made using caster sugar. To crust a glass with sugar, follow the same steps as when you crusted with salt. However, because sugar is more palatable than salt, dampen the entire rim of the glass for an even coating. And finally, let's find out how to crust with powdered sugar. Crusting with powdered sugar provides lots of sweetness and no crunch, whereas cocktails crusted with salt and caster sugar have a crunchier mouthfeel. Because of its snowy look, powdered sugar is best suited to any cocktail served in a silver goblet or a cruster glass. The method of coating the glass with powdered sugar is the same as crusting a glass with sugar or salt, but remember that the coating mustn't be too thick. Have you wondered why the glass was not just dipped in a saucer of sugar or salt? This is because a dipped glass has a lumpy, uneven coating of sugar or salt. A dusted glass is more even, consistent, and elegant. Well done at mastering the method of crusting glasses in sugar and salt.